Get right to the site. Joining us from Phoenix, let's welcome in CBS Sports NBA insider Bill Reiter, former NBA Coach of the Year Avery Johnson. As a player, helped the Spurs win a title in 1999. Bill, instant analysis. What's your reaction to how that game played out?
I think it's a huge missed opportunity for the Milwaukee Bucks. DeAndre Ayton didn't have a great game. He, Chris Paul, and Devin Booker started off slow. They forced Chris Paul into, 6 turnovers, which is 12 for anybody else in the NBA. And Giannis had a historically great game. The only player in NBA history on this night to score 20 points in a quarter in a finals, and they still got outclassed. Making half your three-point shots is going to help do that. But if I'm Milwaukee, I'm dispirited. You did a lot of the things you wanted to do, most of the things Coach said they needed to do, and they still lost.
Yeah, if I'm Milwaukee, I'm very disappointed, specifically in Drew Holiday's play. You know, he was 3 for 14 in the first half. He struggled. You know, he tried to be overly aggressive, go against 2 defenders early in the game, and it didn't work. So I know they got to be disappointed there. But on the positive side, Devin Booker, just book it. Book him, Dano. He was spectacular tonight. We talked about, if he would, make 7 threes, he was 7 for 11 from the three-point line. I think he started off 0 for 3, but Devin Booker was spectacular tonight. He talked about, what the late, great Kobe Bryant would tell him. He said he would tell him finish, and Devin Booker really didn't start this game off well, but he finished it strong. He was the go-to guy. He was electrifying tonight for the Phoenix Suns.
Well, Devin Booker looked up to our guy Rip Hamilton, who won an NBA championship with the Pistons back in 04. Of course, Devin Booker growing up in the great state of Michigan, and he watched those Pistons teams dominate. Of course, they won 1 title, probably could have won a couple more, but Devin Booker getting inspiration from, like you said, from Kobe and Rip Hamilton, who he's spoken with during the playoffs. Now, the Suns were on fire from 3. Devin Booker, one of the keys, 8 of 14 in the first quarter, finished 20 of 40. The Suns got to the free throw line just 14 times in Game 2. Compare that to 26 in Game 1. Avery, I'm curious, was this a product of the Bucks defending the pick and roll and the Suns making threes?
Yeah, the Bucks did a much better job overall of defending the pick and roll. They just didn't go to those automatic switches and leave Brook Lopez out on an island. They tried to do what we call a string concept, where the big guy strings the pick and roll to the sideline, gives the guard a chance to recover. So that was a much better job. And again, Phoenix only attempted, 1 free throw, as Bill alluded to, in the first half. So give the Bucks credit. That was a positive with their pick and roll defense. But again, the Suns just have too many guys that can score in double figures. You look at tonight, Jay Crowder threw in, a couple of threes. Mikal Bridges was again spectacular. He was actually leading the team in scoring from 1 point. So just too much firepower from the Phoenix Suns. But yes, the Bucks did do a much better job overall with their pick and roll defense.
We talked before the game, you got to try to befuddle Chris Paul. They do it. Doesn't matter, because Avery, you're right. There's so many weapons. Normally when a team makes half their threes in a game, 20 three-pointers made, there's a thought it's not lucky they got hot. But I'll say this about the Suns. It was the product of a system of moving the basketball. There was a play in the first half where it felt like there were 40 passes that went on before the Suns got a bucket. They moved the ball all day. You can tell that they all trust those guys, from Chris Paul all the way down to the last man that comes off the bench. Talk about Bridges, you talk about Crowder, you talk about Ayton. Feels like every game it's not 1 but 2 different guys, not named Booker and CP3, who step up. And again, if you're Milwaukee, silently, quietly, you got to be saying, what are we supposed to do about this team?
Yeah, and we saw Monty Williams talking to DeAndre Ayton on the sideline. Remember, he shot 8 of 10 in Game 1. He was 4 of 10 in this one, but he was talking him up, encouraging him. Avery, how has Monty Williams put his team in a position to succeed, now up 2-0 in the series?
Trust, consistency. I played with Monty Williams in San Antonio, and, he's just an older version of what he was as a player. He was somebody that you can trust. He always came to practice every day and worked hard. He communicates well, and all of those attributes and character traits have basically just transferred to his team. And they love playing with each other. But at the same time, Monty will be the first to tell you, when you have a little maestro on the court like Chris Paul that solves problems for you, and you have a guy like Devin Booker who can arguably, lead this league in scoring for consecutive years, and he will be a perennial all-star. And when you have that type of a backcourt that can solve problems for you, that makes a coach looks good and makes his plays run even more efficient, Bill.
Yeah.
Bill, Giannis was good in this game, but the Bucks supporting cast struggled. We needed to see Drew Holiday step up. He didn't. He was 4 of 14 in game 1, 7 of 21 in game 2. That adds up to 11 of 35. Bill, you can't win a title if your supporting cast goes cold.
No, you can't. And if you're honest, you can't be mad at your teammates. That's not going to help. But you know that he's disappointing because there's not more you can ask of Giannis Antetokounmpo on a knee that he thought was going to end not just his season, but maybe the next year of basketball, where he comes out. I thought he was magnificent. The energy. Look, he wasn't great at the free throw line, but he got to the stripe 18 times, I think, from the free throw line, made 11 or 12 of them, scored a ton of points, a lot of energy. And you're right, after the third quarter, every single Buck not named Giannis shooting 33% from the field. Now, Connaughton had some big shots, and they tried to make a push at times, but you said it, Akeem. Chris Middleton's got to play like a star. That guy loves the Suns. That guy loves Chris Middleton right now, too, because Middleton's not playing like an all-star. You're right, Drew Holiday's got to step up. Those guys got to be great, or at least really good, and role players have to help if you want to win an NBA championship.
Yeah, it's almost as if, those guys have to think like Giannis isn't there. They had a different mindset in that Atlanta Hawks series when we missed those 2 games. And we just don't see that attention to detail, the focus, the shot-making ability. They're not getting to the free throw line nearly enough. Fortunately, Giannis is the only one getting to the line, and maybe that'll help them get the bonus a little bit faster so that when, guys like Middleton and Drew Holiday wants to take over, they're much better free throw shooters. But also, Brook Lopez, where are you inside? We know you're a stretch 5. You've proven that you can go back to being the old Brook Lopez as you did in Game 4 against the Atlanta Hawks. But Brook Lopez needs to give them some points in the paint to maybe give Giannis a little bit of a break and to offset the lack of productivity from Middleton and Holiday.
Want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis. No yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.